You let me in, yeah.
Hey guys, what's going on, dudes? It's David here, and we are back with another video. Now, in this video, guys, we're going to be talking about Charles Leclerc, and we're going to be talking about whether I think Charles Leclerc can be a F1 World Champion in 2021. The reason I say 2021 is because I don't really know if the F1 season is going to be coming back. So, if it does come back, it's going to definitely be in shortened calendar, and I'm not even sure they're still going to count like the World Championships, the Constructors World Championships, considering the Canadian Grand Prix was just postponed today, I've heard. So yeah, we're going to be looking on to next year and whether Charles Leclerc can be champion. Now, the way things are, I believe it's heading, Charles Leclerc will be the world champion in 2021. One thing is, Charles Leclerc is the best young driver in Formula One, as a best young driver, other than Max Verstappen, I would honestly say. But the reason I think Charles Leclerc is going to be the winner is because every time I see Charles Leclerc drive, it just amazes me. Now, Max Verstappen does amaze me, but I just think Charles Leclerc is in the better team and the better structure to win the championship. Now, his Ferrari teammate Sebastian Vettel, I don't really want to get into Vettel in straight and simple to the point of that. But Charles Leclerc I'm going to say this. Charles Leclerc will be the 2021 champion for one specific reason. He has the desire, he has the hunger, and he has the team that can help him win that championship. Because in the past few seasons, I mean, if you really look at it, the second best team has been Ferrari. Red Bull hasn't really picked up on anything. Now, if the season does resume this year and Red Bull come out and they're like the second best car, then I'll count Max Verstappen in that race. But with Lewis Hamilton, I think even though he says he still has motivation to go beat Michael Schumacher's record, once he ties that record, I feel like the motivation is going to slowly go down because Lewis Hamilton's going to realize that he doesn't really have that much left to win in Formula One, and that means there'll be a young driver that's 3 years experience in Formula One by that time, by the name of Charles Leclerc, driving for Ferrari, a very fast Italian team that hasn't won the championship since Kimi Räikkönen won it the year before Hamilton won it. Yeah, Ferrari's definitely going to be hungry to win that championship. And they have a very good young driver in Charles Leclerc. I believe in Charles Leclerc more than I believe in Max Verstappen, even though Max Verstappen is a very, very impressive overtaker. He's very good when it comes to defense. But in just the mindset, I believe it's Charles Leclerc that's the best chance to win the F1 championship. Because sometimes when Max Verstappen makes a mistake, it gets to him. Charles Leclerc, same thing with Charles Leclerc, but more of the time it happens to Verstappen than it does with Leclerc. So that is one of the major reasons I think Leclerc is going to have the better chance of being a champion before Verstappen. Now, next year, if Hamilton does actually lose like a bit of a motivation, and he's not on his game because he's already tied Lewis Hamilton's record, he's already beaten Lewis Hamilton's record. Yeah, hear me. He's already beaten Michael Schumacher's record of wins. He's tied his championship record, and he's lost a bit of motivation. That is the perfect time for this battle to become Leclerc versus Verstappen. And due to the way Ferrari have been working this, and Ferrari have been, keep going, and then 2021 was supposed to be the year for new regulations, but I think they're going to postpone that for a year. So considering that, I think Ferrari will stand a very good chance in 2021 being the Constructors World Champion. And even though Sebastian Vettel is a former world champion, I don't actually consider Sebastian Vettel to be better than Charles Leclerc as of this time I'm recording, or as of this time right now. Charles Leclerc is definitely the better driver. He proved it a lot last season. He had many better finishes than Vettel. Of course, he would have won some races in the early beginning of the season if it wasn't for car trouble. So Ferrari can fix their reliability issues, because Red Bull barely even had any reliability issues. So if Ferrari can fix their reliability issues, Charles Leclerc, Ferrari definitely stand a very, very good chance of being world champion. And Leclerc has progressed in every season. Well, he's only been in Formula 1 for what, 2 seasons now? He started in 20. Wait, no. Has he been in Formula 1? I don't even know he's been for Formula 1 for 2 seasons. I want to say 2 seasons. Because he spent 1 year in Sauber and then he went straight into Ferrari. If it's wrong and it's 3 seasons, then he spent 2 years in Sauber, 1 year in Ferrari. But in his first season, no, he's been in Formula 1 for 2 seasons. This would have been his 3rd season. But in his first season with Sauber, he was a very, very good driver. He was bringing that Sauber up to where people wouldn't expect that Sauber to be. And he was racing, what? Who was he racing alongside? Marcus Ericsson? Or is it? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Marcus Ericsson because Antonio Giovinazzi's rookie season was last year. So he was racing against Marcus Ericsson, and he was bringing that Sauber up to the points where Marcus Ericsson couldn't even be bringing them into the points. And then his first season in the Ferrari, in the second race of the season, he almost won the Bahrain Grand Prix if it wasn't for car trouble. So that just proves how good of a driver Leclerc is. And Leclerc, throughout the season, he looked like he was the better driver than Vettel. Yes, there were some races that Vettel shouldn't have won, specifically the Canadian Grand Prix. But in my honest opinion, Charles Leclerc was definitely the better driver than Vettel over last season. I think he would be the better driver than Vettel this season due to him learning from each year. And if he keeps gaining more and more experience, then Charles Leclerc will definitely be a F1 World Champion in 2021. But anyway, guys, I want to thank you guys for watching this video. Please smash the like button. But anyway, guys, I will see you guys all later. Peace.